What, Lucius, how? I cannot by the progress of the stars give guess how near to day. Lucius, I say, I would it were my fault to sleep so soundly when Lucius awake, I say, what, Lucius? How do, my lord? Get me a taper in my study, Lucius. When it is lighted, come and call me here. I will, my lord. It must be by his death, and for my part I know no personal cause to spurn at him, but for the general he would be crowned. How that might change his nature, there's the question. It is the bright day that brings forth the udder. Let graves weary walking crown him. That, and then I grant we put a string in him, that as his will he may do danger with the abuse of greatness is when it disjoins remorse from power. And to speak truth of Cæsar, I have not known when his affections swain more than his reason, but 'tis a common proof that loneliness is young ambition's ladder, where the climber upward turns his face, but when he once attains the utmost round, he then unto the ladder turns his back, looks in the clouds, scorning the base degrees by which he did ascend. So Cæsar may prevent, since the quarrel will bear no colour for the thing he is, fashion it thus, which he is augmented, would run to these and these extremities. Therefore, think him the serpent's egg. And kill him in the shell. The taper burneth in your closet, sir. Searching the window for a flint, I found this paper thus sealed up, and I am sure it did not lie there when I went to bed. Get you to bed again, it is not day. It is not tomorrow, boy, the Ides of March. I know not, sir. Look in the calendar and bring me word. I will, sir. The exhalations whizzing in the air give so much light that I may read by them. Brutus, thou sleepest, awake and see thyself. Shall Rome, etc. Speak, strike, redress, Brutus, thou sleepest, awake. Such instigations have been often dropped where I have took them up. Shall Rome, etc. Thus must I piece it out. Shall Rome stand under one man's awe? What Rome my ancestors did from the streets of Rome, the Tarquin tribe, when he was called a king. Speak, strike, redress, am I entreated to speak and strike? O Rome, I make thee promise. If the redress will follow, thou receivest thy full petition at the hand of Brutus. So March has wasted 15 days. 'Tis good. Go to the gate, somebody knocks, since Cassius first did when wet me against Cæsar. I have not slept. Between the acting of a dreadful thing and the first motion, all the interim is like a phantasma of a hideous dream. The genius and the mortal instruments, and then in council, in the state of man, like to a little kingdom, suffers then the nature of an insurrection. Sir, your brother Cassius at the door. Who doth desire to see you? Is he alone? No, sir. There are more with him. Do you know them? No, sir. Their heads are plucked about their ears, and half their faces buried in their cloaks, that by no means I may discover them by any mark or favour. Let him enter. They are the faction or conspiracy. Shamest thou to show thy dangerous brow by night, when evils are most free, or then by day, where wilt thou find a cavern dark enough to mask thy monstrous visage? Seek none conspiracy, hide it in smiles and affability, for if thou pass thy native semblance on, not Erebus itself were dim enough to hide thee from prevention. I think we are too bold upon your wrist. Good morrow. Brutus, do we trouble you? I've been up this hour, all awake all night. I know these men that come along with you. Yes, every man of them, and no man here but honours you, and every one doth wish you had but that opinion of yourself, which every noble Roman bears of you. This is Trebonius. He is welcome hither. This, Decius Brutus. He is welcome too. this Casca, this Cinna, and this Metalsimba. They are welcome, but watchful cares do interpose themselves betwixt your eyes and night. Shall I entreat a word? Here lies the east. Doth not the day break here? No. Oh, pardon, sir, it doth. And yon grey lines that fret the clouds are messengers of day. You shall confess that you were both deceived here as I point my sword the sun arises, which is a great way growing on the south, weighing the youthful season of the year. Some 2 months hence, up higher toward the north, he first presents his fire in the high east, stands at the capital directly here. Give me your hands, our lover, one by one, and let us swear our resolution. No, not an oath. If not the face of men, the sufferance of our souls, the time's abuse, these be motives weak. Break off betimes, and every man hence, who desire bed, so let high-sighted tyranny range on, till each man drop by lottery. But if these, as I am sure they do, bear fire enough to kindle cowards, to steal with valour the melting spirits of women, then, countrymen, what need we any spur but our own cause to prick us to redress? What are the bond and sweet Romans that have spoke the word and will not falter? And what other oath than honesty to honesty engage, that this shall be or will fall for it? Swear priests and cowards and men cautelous, old feeble carrions, and such suffering souls that welcome wrongs unto bad causes, swear such creatures as men doubt, but do not stain the even virtue of our enterprise, nor the insuppressive metal of our spirits, to think that our cause of our performance did need an oath, and every drop of blood that every Roman bears and nobly bears is guilty of a several bastardy if he do break the smallest particle of any promise that hath passed from him. But what of Cicero? Shall we sound him? I think he will stand very strong with us. Let us not leave him out. No, by no means. Let us have him, for his silver hairs will purchase a good opinion, and by men's voices do commend our deeds. It shall be said his judgment ruled our hands. Our youths and wildness shall no whit appear, but all but buried in his gravity. Name him not. Let us not break with him, for he will never follow anything that other men begin. Then leave him out. Indeed, he is not fit. Shall no man else be touched, but only Caesar? Decius, well urged. I think it is not meet Mark Antony, so well beloved of Caesar, should outlive Caesar. We shall find of him a shrewd contriver, and you know his means. If he improve them, may well stretch so far as to annoy us all, which to prevent let Antony and Caesar fall together. Our course will seem too bloody, Caius Cassius, to cut the head off and then hack the limbs like wrath and death and envy afterwards, for Antony is but a limb of Caesar. Let's be sacrifices, but not butchers, Caius. We all stand up against the spirit of Caesar, and in the spirit of man there is no blood. Oh, that we then could come by Caesar's spirit, and not dismember Caesar. But alas, Caesar must bleed for it, and, gentle friends, let's kill him boldly, but not wrathfully. Let's carve him as a dish fit for the gods, not hoe him as a carcass fit for hounds, and let our hearts, as subtle masters do, stir up the servants to act of rage, after seem to chide him. This shall make our purpose necessary, not envious, which so appearing to common eyes, we shall be called purgers, not murderers. For Mark Antony think not of him, for he can do no more than Caesar's arm when Caesar's head is off. Yet I fear him, for in the engrafted love he bears to Caesar. Alas, good Cassius, do not think of him. If he loves Caesar, all that he can do is to himself. Take thought and die for Caesar, and that which were much he should, for he is given to sports, to wilderness, and much company. There is no fear in him. Let him not die, but he would live and laugh at his hereafter. Pace, count the clock. The dark hath stricken thee. 'Tis time to part, but it is doubtful yet whether Caesar will come forth today or no. But he is superstitious grown of late, quite from the main opinion he held once, a fantasy of dreams and ceremonies. It may be these apparent prodigies, the unaccustomed terror of this night, and the persuasion of his augurers. may hold him from the capital day. Never fear that. If he be so resolved, I can o'ersway him. For he loves to hear that unicorns may be betrayed with trees, and bears with glasses, elephants with holes, lions with toils, and men with flutters. But when I tell him he hates flutterers, he says he does, being then most fluttered, let me work. For I can give his humour the true bent, and I will bring him to the capital. Nay, we all will be all of us be there to fetch him. By the 8th hour is at the uttermost. Be that the uttermost, and fail not then. Caius Ligurius doth bear Caesar hard, who rated him for speaking well of Pompey. I wonder none of you have thought of him. Now, good Metellus, go along by him. He loves me well, and I have given him reason. Send him but hither, and I'll fashion him. The morning comes upon us. We'll leave you, Brutus, and friends, disperse yourselves. But I'll remember what you have said, and show yourselves true Romans. Good gentlemen, look fresh and merrily. Let not our looks be put on our purposes, but bear it as our Roman actors do, with untied spirits and formal constancy. And so, good morrow to you, every one. Boy, Lucius, fast asleep. It is no matter. Enjoy the honey-heavy dew of slumber. Thou hast no figures, nor no fantasies, which busy care draws in the brains of men. Therefore thou sleepest so sound. Brutus, my lord. Portia, what mean you? Wherefore rise you now? It is not for your health, thus to commit your weak condition to the rock-cold morning. Nor for yours neither. You have ungently, Brutus, stole from my bed, and yesterday at supper you suddenly arose and walked out, musing and sighing with your arms across. And when I asked you what the matter was, you stared upon me with ungentle looks. I urged you further, then you scratched your head, and too impatiently stamped with your foot. Yet I insisted, yet you answered not, but with an angry wafting of your hand, gave sign for me to leave you, so I did, fearing to strengthen that impatience which seemed too much unkindled, and withal hoping it was but an effect of humour, which sometime hath his hour with every man. It will not let you eat, nor talk, nor sleep, and could it work so much upon your shape, and as it hath much prevailed in on your condition, I should not know you, Brutus, dear my lord. Make me acquainted with your cause of grief. I am not well in health, and that is all. Brutus is wise, and were he not in health, he would embrace the means to come by it. Why, so I do. Good Portia, go to bed. Is Brutus sick? And is it physical to walk unbraced and suck up the humours of the dank morning? What, is Brutus sick? And will he steal out of his wholesome bed, to dare the vile contagion of the night, and tempt the roomy and unpurged air, to add unto his sickness? No, my Brutus, you have some sick offence within your mind, which by the right of virtue of my place I ought to know of. And upon my knees I charm you by my once condemned beauty, by all your vows of love, and that great vow which did incorporate and make us one, that you unfold to me, yourself, your half, why you are heavy, and what men tonight have had resort to you, for here have been some 6 or 7 who did hide their faces even from darkness. Kneel not, gentle Portia. I should not need, if you were gentle, Brutus. Within the bond of marriage, tell me, Brutus, is it expected I should know no secrets that appertain to you? Am I yourself, but as it were in sort of a limitation, to keep with you at meals, comfort your bed, and talk to you sometimes? Dwell I but in the suburbs of your good pleasure? If it be no more, Portia is Brutus' harlot, not his wife. You are my true and honourable wife, as dear to me as are the ruddy drops that visit my sad heart. If this were true, then should I know the secret. I grant I am a woman, but withal a woman that Lord Brutus took to wife. I grant I am a woman, but withal a woman well reputed, Cato's daughter. Think you I am no stronger than my sex, being so fathered I and so husbanded? Tell me your counsels. I would not disclose them. I have made strong proof of my constancy, giving myself a voluntary wound here in the thigh. Can I bear that with patience, and not my husband's secrets? O ye gods, render me worthy of this noble wife. Hark, hark, one knocks, portion go in a while, and by thy bosom shall partake the secrets of my heart. All my engagements I will construe to thee, all the charactery of my sad brows leave me with haste. Lucius, who's that knocks? He is a sick man that would speak with you. Caius Ligarius, that meddler spake of, boy, and stand aside. Caius Ligarius, thou vouchsafe good morrow from a feeble tongue. Oh, what a time have you chose our brave Caius to wear a kerchief. Would you were not sick? I am not sick. If Brutus have in hand an exploit worthy the name of honor, such an exploit have I in hand. Ligarius, have you a healthful ear to hear of it? All the gods that Romans bow before, I here discard my sickness. Soul of Rome, brave son, derived from honorable loins, thou like an exorcist hast conjured up my mortified spirit. Now bid me run. Thou wilt strive with things impossible, yea, get the better of them what's to do. A piece of work that will make them sick men whole. But are not some whole that we must make sick? That must we also. What it is, my case, I shall unfold to thee, as we are going to whom it must be done. Sit on your foot, with a new heart new fired, I follow you. To do I know not what, but it sufficeth that Brutus leads me on. Follow me then,